Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father had blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, "The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will kill my brother Jacob." My name's Arthur. Thank you for joining me as we continue meditating in Genesis chapter 27. The striving of these two brothers. Isaac had two sons by Rebekah, twins. They're 70 years old when things come to a head. Esau being an outdoors person, a hunter, the favourite of Isaac. Jacob being an indoors person and the favourite of Rebekah. And so when it came time for Isaac, thinking that he was on the verge of death and being blind, to pronounce a blessing over his son Esau, Rebekah, hearing the instructions to Esau, organised Jacob to pretend to be Esau. And so Jacob pronounced the blessing on Jacob. The blessing was, "Surely the smell of my son is like the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed. Therefore may God give you of the dew of heaven, of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be those who bless you." Esau then came in with his savoury dish he had prepared for his father, just as Jacob went out, and presented it to his father, who then realized he had pronounced the blessing on Jacob, and declares, "And he shall be blessed." Esau is distraught. Bless me also, my father." He pleads this twice. "Oh, my father, bless me also." And he weeps, because the words of blessing, the endorsement of his father, cannot be given. They have been pronounced over his brother. His father does say to him, "Behold, your dwelling shall be of the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. By your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you become restless, that you shall break his yoke from your neck." In other words, he foresees that there will be strife between the two of them. He has pronounced that Jacob will, in the end, be the ruler even of his brother's descendants, of Esau's descendants. But Esau does not accept this ruling from his father. He wants it reversed. The words are spoken. They cannot be reversed. But he will strive with his brother, and that striving continues today. The Arab nations jealous of the blessing of God that has come upon the children of Israel. We continue reading in verse 41 of chapter 27. Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, "The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will kill my brother Jacob." And the words of Esau her older son were told to Rebekah. So she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said to him, "Surely your brother Esau comforts himself concerning you by intending to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice. Arise, flee to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a few days, until your brother's fury turns away, until your brother's anger turns away from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. Then I will send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved also of you, both in one day?" And Rebekah said to Isaac, "I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife of the daughters of Heth, like these who are the daughters of the land, what good will my life be to me?" Then Isaac called Jacob and blessed him, and charged him, and said to him, "You shall not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Paddan Aram, to the house of Bethuel your mother's father, and take yourself a wife from there of the daughters of Laban your mother's brother. May God Almighty bless you, and make you fruitful and multiply you, that you may be an assembly of peoples, and give you the blessing of Abraham, to you and your descendants with you, that you may inherit the land in which you are a stranger, which God gave to Abraham." So Isaac sent Jacob away, And he went to Paddan-aram to Laban the son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. May the Lord bless these words to us. Esau hates his brother. We're reminded of the story of Cain and Abel. Cain being jealous of his brother, who received the Lord's commendation, whereas Cain missed out. In that case, Cain slew Abel. Here, Esau, because he knows the instruction that his father has given him, and it would greatly displease his father if he killed Jacob, plans to kill Jacob after his father's death. Isaac is around 130. He's actually going to live to 180, but everyone thinks he's going to die soon. And so Esau consoles himself, saying, when my father's dead, I'll get even. Well, these words are reported to Rebekah, and she says the best way here is to separate the two of them, to send Jacob away. But to make it positive, she proposes sending him away to her brother Laban in Haran until Esau cools down. She says, and stay with him a few days. In fact, it will be many years before he comes back. And when he comes back, he will wonder, is his brother's anger turned away? Has Esau got over it? So Rebekah hatches this scheme with Jacob, but Isaac must speak it. So she speaks to Isaac and complains about the daughters of Heth. Her daughters-in-law, the ones that Esau married, had made life difficult for both of them. And so she pleads with Isaac to find a wife for Jacob, not from the children of Heth, but she leaves it open. If Jacob takes a wife of the daughters of Heth, like these are the daughters of the land, what good will my life be to me? So Isaac calls Jacob, and this time he deliberately and intentionally blesses him, and commands him not to take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. That was Abraham's instruction concerning Isaac. And now that Jacob has the blessing, it is Isaac's instructions to Jacob. Do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. Go to Paddan-aram, go to your mother's brother, and find a wife there. And his blessing is now, may God Almighty bless you, and make you fruitful and multiply you, that you may be an assembly of peoples, and give you the blessing of Abraham, to you and your descendants with you, that you may inherit the land in which you are a stranger, which God gave to Abraham. So the focus of this blessing is the inheritance of the land. The previous blessing had not resolved the issue of who would get the land. It had been one of dominance over the nations, and that those who cursed would be cursed and those who blessed him would be blessed. But now he says, may God Almighty bless you and give you the blessing of Abraham. The blessing of Abraham was many descendants, was the land, and that through his descendants all the nations of the earth would be blessed. So here Jacob is now promised the land in which you are a stranger, which God gave to Abraham. And so Jacob sets off to go to Rebekah's brother Laban. The postscript with respect to Esau is that Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Paddan-aram to take himself a wife from there, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, you shall not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan, and that Jacob had obeyed his father and his mother and had gone to Paddan-aram. Also Esau saw that the daughters of Canaan did not please his father Isaac. So Isaac went to Ishmael and took Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife, in addition to the wives he had. So Esau tries to patch up his relationships with his father by taking a descendant of Ishmael. Ishmael was a man who knew God, and so Ishmael's daughter would have been brought up as he was brought up, with the fear of the Lord, the knowledge of the Lord. But that would not be enough. The blessing of God rested with Jacob.